Hey everybody, it's Ben with 8FD Designs in Decatur, Texas. Our next Weekend Welder project is going to be a decorative signpost. In making that, we use both an angle grinder and an orbital sander. So in today's YouTube video, we're going to show you a little bit about those tools. Unfortunately, this piece of steel sat in the driveway for quite a while before we got to this project, and so we've got quite a bit of rust buildup along the main body of the pipe. We're going to go ahead and show you another tool real quick, the orbital sander. It's a good way to get rid of some of this rust before you start painting. As I said, this piece of steel has been laying in my driveway for quite a while, and it has a significant coat of rust on it. While you could take this off with a grinder, you're also going to scratch up the metal doing that, and the random orbit sander is a better tool for it. It'll take the rust off quicker without actually scratching the material up so much. One of the nice things about the random orbit sander is it's easily usable for both woodwork and metalwork, as well as a number of chores around the house. This model has got hook and loop fasteners on the bottom of it. I prefer to use the sticky back paper. It's just quicker to change out. What we're going to do is just grind off this layer of rust, clean up the edges some, and then put a coat of primer on it. We've gotten a significant amount of rust off of our steel, but we've also fouled up our sanding paper fairly well. So we're going to put on a new sheet and go over it one more time to make sure we get a really good job. The angle grinder is a fairly basic tool with just a few features that we need to point out. It's controlled by a simple on-off switch and has a place on each side where you can attach the handle. For most operations, I keep the handle on the left-hand side, but occasionally you'll want to move it to the other side to get into a tight situation or take it off entirely. On the underside, there's a guard to protect your grinding wheel, and it has two screws that you can loosen and put the guard into different positions depending on what you're working on. Putting on a wheel is fairly simple. There's a spindle lock that you press to hold it in place. There's a wheel support that goes on first, then your grinding wheel, then your nut, which you can hand tighten, align the wheel into the center, and then use the wrench that comes with it to tighten it. We're going to start off by grinding off some welds that I've put on this piece of steel. The three areas that we're going to be working on are here, here, and here. On this one, I've put a flat bead on top of the intersection between these two pieces of flat plate. We're going to end up grinding that back off smooth. Over here, we've done some fillet welding between our lower piece and our upper piece. We're just going to kind of clean up the general area. Over here, we've put a flat bead on top of a flat piece. We're going to grind that off completely. As you can see, the angle grinder makes quick work of each of these three tasks. It's fast and efficient, particularly if you've been using a file to clean up your projects previously. The other task that you can do easily with an angle grinder is cutting. To do that, we're going to swap out our wheel, and I'm going to take and cut a piece of 1-inch square tubing. The cutting wheel is much thinner so that it takes away less metal and gives you a fairly even cut. A cutting wheel can be particularly handy out in the field where none of your other cutting tools are available. Well, that about covers our angle grinder. There's quite a few things that you can do with it. Like I said, it's not a very complicated tool, but it's something we're going to be using all the time. I hope that you enjoyed these two new tools. Check back soon to see our video on the decorative signpost. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to our channel. 8FD Designs works out of 32,000 square feet of building on 3.5 acres in Decatur, Texas. If you want to learn more about our events, our store, our classroom, or want to come by for a shop tour, come and see us in Decatur, Texas.